Hello, KGC fans and listeners all across the world, man. KGC back here. Hope you guys had a Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year and Happy Holidays. Hope it was safe. Um, I want to remind you guys that we still have the Spider Grip contest going on. So if you want an entry, all you have to do is just mention who you want back on the or who you want on the show, and we'll get them on the show. And today, I am joined by a great musician. He's one of the best, and I'm so proud to call him a friend, call him a brother. Please go check him out at SouleTunes.com. Please make welcome the great Jeff Soules. Jeff, how you doing, buddy?
Very well, my friend. Thank you. That's a great introduction. Thank you, Caden. I'm happy to be here. So thank you for inviting.
Well, thank you so much for being here on the show, and talk to us a little bit about, well, first off, where you're calling us from.
I'm in McMinnville, Tennessee.
So you're in Tennessee.
I'm 70. What is it? 73 miles southeast of Nashville. So,
I love Tennessee. I love the Smoky Mountains.
me
My
too. It's beautiful. I used to live in Lenore City, so that was just south of the Smoky Mountains.
Yeah, and as we are filming, my aunt and uncle are in Tennessee and they're heading to Georgia. So safe travels. How's the weather out there?
It's much better than it was last weekend, I will say that. We had frigid temps, I mean, single digits, past zero a couple times during the night, and just icy roads. It was just, it was just horrid weather for people traveling to their families for Christmas. It just really was bad weather. So we're being blessed right now. We're up in the 60s this weekend. Almost 70. I think 68 on New Year's Day. So it's
Well, you
great
know,
weather. I'm traveling to Nashville now for the big um, New Year's Eve fest. So
what's that? What's the New Year's Eve fest?
it's going to be televised actually. It's they're having a bash downtown Nashville with fireworks and the countdown and everything. So it should be on. You should be able to find it on TV. I would think. It would
Yeah,
be Channel 5, at
yeah.
least here in Nashville.
Check your local listings for that. But Jeff, enough about Tennessee. Let's get into you. How did you get us started in music, and talk to us a little bit about what your music is really about?
Well, I got started in music. I started playing guitar when I was 11. I grew up watching my grandfather play. He never taught me anything. I just, I learned on my own from a book for a while, a Beatles book, anthology book, and taught myself before my folks got me lessons. And I took a couple years of lessons, but my teacher was only teaching me how to learn songs, pick out the bass note and follow the chord progression, and so I kind of got out of that and just started teaching myself and listening to things and figuring out how the neck and the fretboard on my own for several years. And then I went to Steve Kaufman's camp and learned bluegrass and flat picking, and that opened up a whole new world of playing for me. So I incorporate that into my music a little bit. I grew up being a rocker mostly. I was big into heavy metal. Sorry, I work with dust. I got it. But um, yeah, what do you say? My music represents what I try to represent is a connection, a spiritual connection, a life lesson, um, inspiration, to go on and persevere. I really try to portray that in my music as far as my lyrical content.
It shows, and I love listening to your stuff, man. I've gotten sent over a lot of your stuff, and I'm just a big fan. You you deliver a song so eloquently and you deliver it with such passion, and that's one thing I love about your music is you can really tell what you're singing. And
Wow.
you you are yeah, you're one of the best musicians today. I mean you seriously amaze me with your talents, man, and it's an amazing. I love some of your songs, and talk to us a little bit about.
So cool to hear, Caden. I can't tell you. Wow, that's just that's just that is so that makes it everything I do worthwhile to hear that. It's just thank you. That's such a compliment. Thank you.
Some like today I was before we got on this interview. I'm not gonna lie to you, I was kind of listening to some of your music just to prepare for this interview, and it was, and your music is, I want you to know that your music has a healing power, and I feel it through everything I listen to and I have ever heard of yours. It's healing, and you you're kind of like country music, and you have a song for every which way you're feeling and every emotion that you're feeling, and I- and talk to us a little bit about the songwriting process.
Well, usually I write the music first and come up with a melody. Um, Lyrics are something that takes time for me. Um, I mean, I have lots of pieces of music right now that need words. I just don't. Um, I don't force myself to put something because it usually is terrible.
Hmm.
I many times through my years of songwriting, um, I'll be playing that piece, and all of a sudden, these words will come in to my head, and I will work it out and have the thing done within 15, 20 minutes. The whole song written. It's something that comes to me a lot of times. And I think that's just from opening up to the Holy Spirit and letting Him flow through me. Um, I'm trying to learn to do that better. But that's really how my songwriting process goes. I am collaborating with other people, uh, and there's things in the works that haven't come out yet, and there's some things that have come out, um, and that I find very enjoyable. Um, it gives me a whole new perspective on my thinking as far as arranging a song, and I get their ideas, and it just uh, like this last Christmas song, Christmas Cruising. It was a real uh, pleasure just rearranging that from what it from sorry from what it was originally, um, and I hope people like it. I think it's doing pretty well myself, but um, I don't know. It's been critiqued that it really isn't a Christmas song, so I don't know.
It's I love that song, man, and not Christmas is all about family, and when I think about
Being with
your,
the ones you love, yes.
yeah, and that's what I think about is when I listen to your stuff, man. It really shows that you love family and that you love God. How has your faith and been inspiring in your music?
I would say there's a touch of it in almost every song I've written. Truly,
Has your faith inspired a lot? Well, has God ever sat you down and said, Jeff, I want you to write this song?
yes. There's a song called "Something Whispered." That it was almost like how do I put this? It was almost like a dead soldier jumped into me and said, "I need to get these words out." And uh, I don't know what to say. I'm not going to say much more than that. You'll have to listen to the song. It's called "Something Whispered." You can find it on an old YouTube page I had that was called, or the title was Elf Soul 23 for the user, and you can find it there with a guy I used to play with called Isaac McNall, and we were called the Blasted Brothers. There's a version of that there, and there's a version of it with me and Teresa. It's East of Nowhere. You can find that in our album. So
And if you haven't, and please, please, please go to soultunes.com, not only to keep up with Jeff, but and keep up with him on Twitter. I'm assuming you have Facebook and the whole 9 yards.
no, I'm not a fan of Mr. Z. I'm not on Facebook or Instagram, and it's probably a shame, but I'm just not. I
So you're just on Twitter?
just on Twitter. Yep.
Well,
And
keep up with them on.
YouTube has a lot of links to other places, Spotify, Apple. Well, I think my website has Apple and SoundCloud,
Yeah.
Bandcamp, uh, some others. I just got hooked up with Disco. I'm gonna create a page on there. I'll put the link on my website when I get that ready. Yeah,
Talk,
soultunes.com. You'll be able to find pretty much everywhere I'm at, though. So
keep up with them. This man is this man is just 10 to 15 years from now will be a legend in the music, and I feel it just from hearing just something in the water, and something, and all those songs that he's ever written. Jeff is a true musician who does he will not sign to anybody's crap. He's gonna sing what he wants to sing, how he wants to sing it, and with who he wants to sing it.
well, yeah. What I've been working on is my production skills. I need to get those up. I listen to my stuff, and it's just my, my first album in 2010 is recorded so poorly, and it was, I wasn't working on a DAW like what you have nowadays, a digital audio workstation.
Yeah.
Uh, it was just all done on a Zoom HD8 with digital track recorder. And it was just basically 8 tracks, and you mix those with volume and balancing, or panning, I want to say. But there wasn't a whole lot of EQ or anything you could do with that. So that's I listen to that stuff, and it's just like, oh, and I've been it takes a long time to learn mixing. I tell you what,
Oh,
and it just is a skill, an art form in itself, besides being a musician. So my productions are hopefully getting better. I just want to say that.
so when you are done with your career in 35 years, 45 years from now, what do you want to be remembered by as your music, not even for your music, but the life you've lived? What do you want to be remembered by?
My songs. I mean, if you listen to like classic rock stations, and you hear, uh, you still hear Beatles songs on some of them. You hear Led Zeppelin. You hear
Elvis.
Elvis. Yeah. Um, just the Doors. Old. If I have songs that can last decades like that, that would be an honor. Yes.
And I already know it will, man. Music is
I, it's
music is a lifetime.
it's awesome to hear someone have so much faith in me. Thank you, Caden.
Well, you're adopted into a family now. You are adopted into the KGC show family, and I want to thank Roxy for putting this together, man. She asked if I would do it, and she
Miss
asked if I would
Roxy,
do it,
yes,
and
Mrs. Roxy. Sorry,
yeah,
she is a blessing in my life.
she is in all of our lives, and Jeff, I wanted to say thank you for what you're doing, not only for the music industry, but for what you're doing in your music, because there's a certain art form that is created in your music, and I feel it. And I want to say thank you, and keep going. And we all have big dreams, and we all have aspirations, and I don't doubt in 5 years from now you'll be with those other guys, with your long enduring hits that you might have, so to speak. And how would you say that you're famous around where you live in the small town of Tennessee?
No, these people around. Well, I mean, I'm well known, but how would you put it? It's such. I don't know. Everybody's jealous of each other around here. So, it's just the strangest thing. It's um, and a lot of people don't like bluegrass music here. Not, I love bluegrass and old time music, the flatpick and stuff. I just love it, and people around here don't like that. Um, in East Tennessee, it was totally different. We'll stand together in a group and jam it together.
Yeah.
Around here it's just really different. Um, no, I mean people. I'm in the newspaper, the local newspaper. I've been in there for a couple times, and so people do know me, but it's not like I'm. Um,
Not like a William Lee Golden type thing.
well, yeah, and I don't go out in public the way they have me in pictures either. A lot of time I'm wearing a ball cap. When I perform, I'm wearing my other hat, kind of like the cowboy hat, camouflage. But yeah, around town, most people, unless they know me, I don't think they recognize me as being Jeff Soule. So
Yeah. Well, Jeff, I wanted to say thank you so much for coming on the show, man.
thank you, Caden.
Thank you for being such an eloquent guest. You're such an eloquent speaker, man. And you know, I remember I know that you were kind of, nervous and you
Oh, I
said I
was
might have
very nervous. To me, this is more nerve wracking than singing in front of people. So,
you
but
you did a fantastic job. And
thank you.
everybody, go check out soultunes.com. Go check out Jeff Soul's music. Go check out everything Jeff and follow him. Really, really encourage him to keep going because there are some days that are harder than some.
Yeah,
I would,
some days are better than others. That's what I always say.
yeah. And tell me the one last thing. Tell me, do you have any cool stories to tell if you've ever gone out on the road and done with your music and seen those people just fall out and
The biggest, I guess, would be when I was in Eastern Nowhere. We played all around this area. Um, and we actually, we started playing in 2016, and by um, it's right when COVID hit that we kind of stopped playing shows. We did a couple that January 2020, but and then it just kind of fell apart from there. Life happened, so. But that we definitely built up quite a big following. What do I want to say? A big following as East of Nowhere. So that's probably the best success I've had uh, touring around and playing with. It wasn't really a band; we were just an acoustic duo, but we did make a name for ourselves. So.
well, you know what, man, we talked a little bit about faith and we'll wrap this up here because I know you got to go and go
I'm
go have fun. But I want to ask you one last thing.
sure.
What inspired you when you were sitting there and uh, when you were sitting there as a little kid saying, I wanted to play music? Was that ever a thing that you thought about saying, oh, I can make this a reality?
you know, um, it's just always been in me, music. Um, my mom told me, like when I was 2 and 3 years old, the curtains that go across like a patio doorway, and the
Yeah,
pull rods with little cones on the end.
yeah.
Uh, I used to use that as a microphone and sing into it. you know, uh, 2 and 3 years old, and then I remember I had a little square transistor radio as a kid. I mean, from like when I was 5, 6, 7 years old, I listened to that, and it was just an AM station, but they played all kinds of like what's his name? Fly Like an Eagle. Please forgive me, Steve Miller, and um, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, and you know the Eagles and stuff like that. And so I grew up listening to all that, and it just I finally, I played hockey when I was a kid, and decided I didn't want to do that, and I wanted to play guitar. And so I started doing that, and that's just kind of how it took off. Um, as far as knowing I wanted to do it, I guess it was just always in me. It's just I never knew not to do it. To put it another way, it's just something that's always flowed through me. So,
And it delivers in your music, man. It really does. And Jeff, you are a great man. You are a great friend. You are a great brother. And come back and see us anytime you want. We'll come. We'll do this in about 6 months
thank you.
from now, man.
Yes,
And
sir.
we'll have a catch up. And I know you got some new songs gonna be out by then. So what we might have you do is come back and play a couple songs for us.
Certainly, I can do that.
And Jeff, I thank you again for being here, man. And
Thank you, Caden. Thank you so much. This was such an honor to be included and asked to do this. It blew my mind. So thank you. I really appreciate it.
I think 2023, you just showed that 2023 will be a bigger and better year for the podcast. I'm opening it with a great bright sensation. And I'm going to say this to all of my podcast listeners and viewers out there. Keep your eye out on Jeff. He is going big places, and he definitely will be making he'll be making the best records he's ever going to be making here soon. So Jeff,
I hope so.
keep up the good work and keep up the good drive, man. And thank you again for being on the show, man.
Thank you, Caden. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you too, and Happy New Year to everybody. May God be with you guys, and then go check out Danny Stefanetti, um, Danny Speaking. Go check out William Lee Golden and the Goldens. Go purchase William Lee Golden's book Behind the Beard. Make sure that you get that for your families, and go check out the Oak Ridge Boys. Go check out Danny. And that's about it. Well, thank guys. God bless you. God bless one another. Stay safe out there. Thank
Be
you.
safe, everyone.
Yeah.